How you doing, guys? I'm back with another collection of a video. Got some horror DVDs and Blu-rays that I'm going to talk about. Alright, so I'm just going to begin here. So first up we have CHUD. It stands for Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers. This film originally came out in 1984. Stars John Hurt and Daniel Stern. Now this film is about these creatures that are living in the sewers in New York. And every so often they come up and they attack the people on the surface. I really enjoyed this film a lot when I was a kid. This is the Anchor Bay release of this, and I'm really happy to get this release because this one's actually a director's cut, and I didn't realize that when I picked it up. I almost put it back when I found it. Now this film has been re-released through Image Entertainment, but that version runs 8 minutes shorter. It's 88 minutes. So I don't think there's any special features in that release either. This one does have the audio commentary and theatrical trailer and like some behind the scenes stills and stuff like that. Now there was at one point a TV print of the film that ran 20 minutes longer. It was almost 2 hours long. Now this cut has 8 minutes of those scenes put back in, but it's missing one scene that was actually in the theatrical cut. It was a scene where two cops enter a diner. One of them played by John Goodman, and then moments after entering the diner gets surrounded by the creatures, and it kind of just ends there with their faces pressed up against the window. They didn't really show anything. They didn't rush into the diner or anything like that. Now that scene was actually put at the end of the theatrical cut, and it changed the end of the movie. I won't get too much into that in case no one's seen this film before. But I'm really happy to have this one in my collection, especially since it's an old Anchor Bay, which I love collecting. Alright, next up, let me pull this one away here. We have Shockwaves. This one stars Peter Cushing, Brooke Adams, and John Carradine. And basically this is like a zombie Nazi type movie. And the plot of this film is like towards the end of the Second World War, these German scientists were working on creating super soldiers, and they succeeded. But there was a whole bunch of these guys on the ship, and the ship sunk, so they adapted to living in the ocean, basically. And that's where they remained for many decades until some strange event happens and they rise up from the depths of the ocean to seek their revenge, I guess. Now, it's kind of weird. This movie's science gets a bit wonky. They don't really explain what it is that makes them come back after all these years. It's like there's this boat that's doing this tour thing, and for some reason the sky turns bright red. And then later on in the evening, the ship rises from the ocean, and then it collides with the boat. And then in the morning, the survivors, they discover that their ship is toast and it's sunk and it's sinking, and they discover an island. So they go to the island, and then it's deserted except for one person, and it's a guy played by Peter Cushing. He's an ex-Nazi officer. And when they tell him what happened, he freaks out because he knows the soldiers have survived under the ocean and are going to be seeking revenge. This is a pretty decent movie. It's not as good as I already remember it, which usually happens when you get a film that you haven't seen in a very long time. It's such a weird movie too, because the soldiers have this one Achilles heel, like they're pretty much indestructible, but if you pull their glasses off, the goggles off their face, they deteriorate. Which you think they would have, once they figured that out, they would have went ahead and just did that, but instead the people just started fending for themselves and not working together, which was kind of annoying. But I always liked this film. I love that they kept the original poster art. This is the Blue Underground release of this. This is also available on Blu-ray, but I found this one used, and oh well, what are you going to do? Alright, next up, we have Death Ship. Really excited to have this one in my collection. I used to watch this one all the time back when I was a kid. Now this film is about this German freight ship that's like a ghost ship, and for some reason, like it just wanders the ocean. Whenever it comes across a cruise liner, it rams it. Now that happens at the beginning of the film. Basically, you see it happen, and then there's a group of survivors in the morning on a raft, and they come across the ship, which is abandoned. So they decide to get on there because they just need to get out of the ocean. And when they get on the ship, all kinds of supernatural stuff starts happening immediately. Like it's like echoes of the past, like it was some kind of death ship where they just brought people on there and tortured them or whatever. So that pretty much happens. This is such an interesting film in the fact that the cast is a lot older than what you would normally see in a film like this. If this film was made today, it'd be a much younger cast, like a bunch of teenagers or whatever, 20-somethings. This one stars George Kennedy and Richard Crenna. And I'm going to open this up on the inside so you can take a look. There's the alternate poster art. I'm going to pop the disc out here. There we go. And we got from some of the other countries here. This one is probably my favorite for the silliness. If you look in the top right-hand corner, you can see the image of Hitler that they did on here, and it gives the impression that the ghost of Hitler is on the ship. But I don't know. It's a decent release. Not too much in the way of special features. Let's see, we got here isolated music track, Katrina Nightmare Theater thing. Not really my deleted scene. Learn what the ship is saying featurette in the original trailer. Alright. Now onto some more modern movies. Okay, first up we got Nurse 3D. This one stars Paz de la Huerta. I guess she was in Boardwalk Empire, although I never really watched that show. Basically, she plays this psychotic nurse that has a problem with promiscuous men. So what she does is she comes onto them in bars and stuff like that, and when they accept her advances, she kills them, basically. This film's such a strange film because it starts off where she's the main character, and then like 10 minutes in it switches to another character that she becomes obsessed with. It's like this young nursing student that's studying under her, and first she drugs her up and has her way with her and sets about trying to ruin her life. This film has got a really odd tone to it, because it starts off like it's like a feminist thing, and yet there's a lot of gratuitous nudity in the movie, and a lot of the shots of women are really, you know, from like kind of sexy angles and stuff like that. It's really weird. Like, look at the contrast between the two things there. But this film does get pretty bloody towards the end, so people who are fans of gore will probably really enjoy that a lot. Alright, and last up for this update, we have Let Us Pray. And I picked this one up because I saw a review that Moods did a little while back. This one stars Liam Cunningham and Pollyanna McIntosh. This is a Canadian Anchor Bay release. I'm not really a big fan of this artwork. I know it's different in the States and in other countries. But basically this image in the background is actually in the foreground. And this person here, this actor, I think his name is Douglas Russell. He's not really the main character, but this one gives the impression that he is the main character, but it's really Liam Cunningham and Pollyanna McIntosh's movie. Like, I do have them on the back. This movie is about a young constable played by Pollyanna McIntosh. It's her first day at a new job, and she has like something in her history that always affects her a little bit. But anyways, she's working in this job, and she's like in the precinct when this mysterious person comes in, and he kind of has something supernatural about him that affects everybody in the jail, like even the police officers. This is a pretty cool film. It gets really bloody towards the end. I like the cast. I just wish that there were some more special features on this release. Like, this only comes with making a documentary. I'd like to see like an audio commentary, because I have some questions about the ending of this film that it would be nice to have a better explanation for than what they actually did. So I don't know. Still a cool film. I'd recommend this one. So guys, there you go. That's my update. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.